Empathy in corporate offices, on paper and in practice. Please listen to the video till the end. Empathy in the workplace is often hailed as an essential leadership trait and a foundation for positive corporate culture. Many organizations include it in their mission statements, HR policies, and training documents. But does empathy truly exist beyond documents? Does it actively shape office interactions and decisions? What is empathy in the workplace? Empathy in corporate offices means the ability to genuinely understand and share the feelings of coworkers, managers, and subordinates. It's about responding thoughtfully to others' concerns, supporting colleagues through personal or professional challenges, and building a culture rooted in kindness and understanding. For human resource professionals and leaders, nurturing workplace empathy involves more than listening. It's about fostering an environment where people feel valued, heard, and supported. Is empathy merely a corporate buzzword? While empathy is widely discussed in corporate world, critics argue that in many offices, empathy is reduced to a buzzword, present in policies but absent in practice. Often, corporate priorities like efficiency, profit, and productivity are the main driving force which overshadow genuine empathetic behaviors, leading to an environment where employees may feel undervalued and emotionally isolated. So, if a person is in a difficult situation in such an organization, then it becomes a challenge for a particular employee to work in hostile condition, because even if that employee goes to leadership or with any other person in authority to discuss a concern, they will not understand the problem. Instead, they will find problems in the employee who is already going through the situation. To add one more point, majority of people in leadership will be speaking on similar template as well, and ultimately the employee is left only with two options, either to work under the hostile condition lettuce, or her health get affected, or the employee leave the job. However, considering the world we are living in, very less think of quitting the job, which ultimately will cause stress in personal life as well. The worst scenarios where empathy only exists in documents are corporate sectors in developing nation, where people are easily replaceable because of high rate of unemployment. So, in such nations, corporate companies take undue advantage, as the policies are not strict, and usually an employee is main bread earner of a family. Another scenario is where people support their favorite people, which again creates a hostile condition for another employee or for a group of people. The main reason of the office politics is the society where the people are coming from. As per my experience, people are two types. Either they are morally not good, or people are made out of experiences they have from their life. Majority of the people belongs to the second category. That is, nature of people develop based on the experience they had in their life. And this is what they try to implement in their professional life, as well, without taking into consideration to what extent it can be problematic for another employee. For an example, a person who has lately come into role of people management, and that person had observed in the past that talking to your team rudely, in high tone, bossy tone is perfectly normal, and there is nothing wrong in it to get the things done, because corporates are concerned only with the revenues. That recently promoted person thinks that they have full right to talk to the team any way she wants. In this way, they are inculcating a culture where employees will think that this is the right to lead a team, to scold them, not to listen to them. No need to be empathetic, etc. Exceptions will be favored employees for XYZ reasons. However, the picture will be totally different if this was either morally good or had a good leader to observe. The sad reality is that majority of people in corporate, especially in developing nation, belongs to bad manager category. I know no one is perfect, but this is a fact. Research shows that where empathy is lacking among management, employees experience more stress, burnout, and disengagement, with negative consequences for both morale and organizational outcomes. In such environments, empathy stays confined to HR brochures, while the workplace culture suffers. Evidence that empathy is being implemented. Despite challenges, there is real and growing evidence that empathy isn't just theoretical in many modern offices. Managerial compassion. There are documented cases of managers listening to employees' personal struggles and taking action to support them. For example, managers have staggered responsibilities or extended deadlines for employees dealing with grief or life challenges, prioritizing well-being over immediate productivity. Peer support. Coworkers frequently show empathy through support with heavy workloads, installing communication tools to help stress team members, or simply offering a listening ear. These actions manifest empathy beyond leadership and reflect a collaborative culture. Company policies. Some organizations have implemented formal programs, such as flexible work arrangements, extra paid time off for mental health, or employee assistance programs, to institutionalize empathy. For instance, companies have introduced caring days or mental health breaks, and few companies provide wellness and flexible work incentives, recognition, and validation. Empathetic managers actively validate feelings of frustration or stress, promoting a safe space for open dialogue about workplace difficulties. This promotes trust and loyalty in teams. Fostering genuine empathy, best practices, modeling from the top. Empathy must be genuine and visible at every leadership level. Senior leaders set the tone by openly practicing and rewarding empathetic behaviors. Active listening. Simple actions like listening without judgment, asking open-ended questions, and acknowledging others' emotions are crucial for real empathy. Embedding empathy in culture. Training programs, open-door feedback policies, and recognition of empathetic acts solidify empathy as a core value, not just a policy. Monitoring organizational health. Regular employee surveys and 360-degree feedback mechanisms help track empathy's impact on morale and performance, ensuring it's not just lip service. Empathy in corporate offices is real, but its presence varies from one organization to another. When empathy moves beyond policy documents and is authentically woven into company culture, through supportive management, peer connections, and thoughtful policies, it leads to greater engagement, loyalty, and productivity. Where empathy remains a rhetorical device with no genuine implementation, workplace suffering and disengagement become common. The most effective organizations are those where empathy informs everyday actions, not just aspirations. This requires leadership commitment, authenticity, and continuous efforts to translate empathetic intentions into tangible, lived experiences at every level of the corporate hierarchy. I really believe the empathy culture can part a society in a very effective way if it's being taught in schools/colleges, as in this way we can develop a nation which is empathetic, and consequently it will reflect at every level of society, because this is how that nation is groomed. Thank you for listening, and please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Drop your thoughts in comment.